Welcome to this NetOrca demo of how a service owner would process changes. So in the previous video, we had a consumer that raised a change against the network team. In this demonstration, we're going to show how that network team would see those changes and the various options which they have in order to process those changes. So once again, we start with the GUI. So we're logged in as the network team now. And we can see on the dashboard that there is one outstanding change request. Again, make sure we're in the service owner context up on the left there. So if we go to our change instance, we can see that the demo app 2 has requested new network, and we can drop down and see the declaration that was sent through from the consumer there. So they want a new network, they want the network range /24. Now, we have the option to actually close this in the GUI here, complete or as an error. Now, closing via the GUI here, I'd say is the first level that a service owner team would sort of use to manage their services. This is for a team who wanted to onboard a service to the declarative way of doing things via Git, but didn't yet have a way to automate the changes on the back end. So before they've done the full automation, they still have the ability to manually close changes and manually do the work in the background here. Now, this GUI is built on top of the NetOrca API, and at all points the API is available to the service owner teams. So here we can get the change instances that are in the state approved for the network team, and we can see that there's one change instance available. With this change instance, we're given all the information: the related service item, the application, the metadata, the declaration from the customer, any team names, team metadata, everything we need to do in order to make that change. So the next level of this is that teams could create their own custom scripts or use existing automation to interact with the NetOrca API and perform the change. And in addition, NetOrca will release and has put together some standardized Ansible plays to be able to close these changes. So here's one we've just put together in AWX. So for this one, we need to get the change ID, which is number 9. Put that in. And then throughout all the changes we do and when we close them, we need some way of communicating back to the user some information about the change. So in our case, a user is requesting a network that they want to use. So we need some way of communicating this back to them. And we do this through what we call a deployed item. So at any point when we close changes, we can put in a deployed item, which is freeform JSON, and can give some information back to the user. So we'll run this, and this Ansible play will kick off and close that change and attach the deployed item to this change. Now at the moment, this Ansible play isn't doing much, it's just grabbing the change and closing it. But obviously the Ansible plays could wrap around any existing automation that any teams had or wanted to use. And obviously with the API, this could be used with any programming language or automated tools. So if we go back to the GUI here and we refresh the change instances, we'll see that that one has now gone and it's in the completed state. If we grab completed, we'll see number 9 is there. And we'll see the declaration is there as well. If we go to our service items, we can also see that, and we can see any attached deployed item information there. So that concludes what the service owner does in terms of changes.